Hi, Darren Hall here from bet72.com. Just wanted to make a brief video just to show you about a very interesting offer, and one which I think is going to be pretty profitable actually this week. It's from a bookmaker, Netbet, and it's on the Copa America, which is currently going on over in Chile. You may have caught some of the games, although some of them are on a rather late time, but there's certainly been some interesting games, and we've already locked in one or two offers already in the group stages, and we're looking to take that on further. Now we're actually at the quarter-final stage. Basically, the offer we've got here from Netbet is on the quarter-finals and semi-finals. And basically they're providing you with cash back in the form of a bonus up to £50 every time a game goes to penalties. Now the interesting thing here is, from our point of view, is that the quarter-finals and semi-finals of this tournament, there is no extra time. So basically, if there's a draw, the match will go straight to penalties. I believe that there is extra time in the final. But for these quarter-finals and semi-finals, if a match is a draw, then it does go straight to penalties. So in effect, what this does is this turns this offer into a refund if the game is a draw type offer, which is obviously much more attractive for us looking at that, both from a risk-free profits point of view, and also from a trading point of view as well, because that gives us a lot of leverage if we know that we've actually got the draw covered just by placing a simple qualifying bet before the match actually starts. So you can see we've got some more detail here actually on the site, and basically the only stipulations here are that you need to actually opt in to the offer, which you can do by clicking through and going onto the site and doing that with your account, or obviously you can sign up for an account as well, and it gives us some details down here. They've got a current £50 sign up offer and also a free £10 mobile bet offer. So that's some good profits from this site, not just recently but throughout the year. They've had some very good offers, and I know there's quite a few more coming down the line. They've also got UK and Irish horse racing now, so that's good as well, particularly for turning over the bonuses, and also for just picking up other offers and getting access to them very quickly. So it's a it's a decent site, and it's certainly one that we'd recommend here from bet72.com. But yeah, the stipulation is obviously the maximum is £50 per game, and the only requirement is that the odds that we select are 1.5 or above. We've actually got the full list of terms and conditions here, but again, we always urge people just to double check those on the actual site itself, because these are only correct at the time that we've actually published them and typed them. So well worth just double checking what the bookmaker has on their site as well before you proceed. So really what we're looking to do here is just take a position, and the simplest way to do it would obviously be to just back and lay a selection within the match odds market. So that would just be the standard 90-minute market. Obviously, if it's a draw at the end of that, then we are actually going to get a refund. So I can just show you how that would sort of operate, and we've got a spreadsheet as well which will do the calculations for you. Like I say, I'm probably looking at this from a slightly different angle because I've got trading in mind, if I can stay awake long enough to watch the particular games. But certainly that gives us a very good position, because we know that we're going to be getting up to £50 back. It's in the form of a bonus, I would say, and that bonus needs to be wagered over 5 times. But like I say, there's lots of options there. The odds are pretty good on the site anyway. We've also got our software, Odds Matcher and Odds Matcher Pro, which you can use and certainly pick out selections. Like I say, even on the fact we've got horse racing now, then it means you can turn these bonuses over very quickly, because we've got multiple races obviously every day of the week, so fairly easy to pick some selections out and just turn those over. But yeah, let's just jump across now. We've got these preloaded here. So we've got the actual first game, which is not tonight or the early hours of tomorrow, midnight on the 25th. Just recording this video on the 24th of June. So we've got Chile, Uruguay in the first game. Then we've got Peru against Bolivia. That's 24 hours later. We've got Argentina, Colombia, and Brazil, Paraguay, which is at a slightly more sensible time for us here in the UK at 10:30. But even so, we've got 4 games obviously coming up in quick succession, one after the other. So we've got an opportunity to jump on this offer 4 times, because we can do it on each individual game itself, and we can then look to play out the offer however we want. But if we look, I'm looking here obviously on the matched odds market, but you can see here we've got 124 markets just on the Chile-Uruguay game alone, so you can look for any particular markets or selections that you actually want. If we hop across to Betfair, then we've got the matches set up here, and you can see here again we've got Chile-Uruguay. So immediately we're drawn to the fact that there's not actually a team there whose odds are bigger than less than 1.5, I should say. So we can just use the match odds market. That's not really a problem. So all we're looking at is close matches in odds. So if we just concentrate obviously on tonight's game, because that's going to be the one we're going to be doing first, obviously. So we've got Chile-Uruguay, and we've got 1.76 there, and currently they are 1.83 to lay on Betfair. I mean, I've not gone through all the other markets, and you know, there may be better matches than that, but for the purposes of what we're doing here, and so I'm not droning on for too long, I'll just show you how that would actually work here. The other crucial figure that we want to know is what the current lay odds are as well within the match odds market. I mean, we can actually just click through onto that and view the full market, and you can actually see the whole thing there. So there we go. So there's the current match odds market there. So you know, decent liquidity, because obviously these are bigger profile games now. Certainly now we're getting into the latter stages, so we're not going to have any problems at all in terms of getting any sort of matches that we actually want within the markets. So what we've got is a spreadsheet, and that's available by either signing up to the mailing list on bet72.com, or you can drop me an email, darren@bet72.com. I can send you a copy over. This is just an online version that we've got, and it's in Excel here. And what this is showing is well, 2 things really. Is one is, first of all, we can look to see if there's any value in doing a particular offer, because again, it's not worth doing it if we're going to be making a loss, whatever happens, of course. It's a waste of everyone's time. So what we're looking at is making sure that the odds actually match up to make it worth our while, and then also the different scenarios we can do by equalizing the profit. We can overlay, we can underlay, we can weight the bets one particular way or the other, or indeed just look to create a position so that we can then go in and actually trade, because we have a number of different trading strategies that we use in play as well, in order to leverage the profit as well. But very simply, I mean, if we go back here, we were looking at Chile as an example there, 176 to back, 183 to lay, and the draw is 3.75. So Blue Peter fashion, we've already got this preloaded one we made earlier, so we just basically just put the stake in there, which is £50. The back odds 176, the lay odds are 183, and the commission we're going to put in as 5% just for default, but again that's going to be based on which betting exchange you're using and what your current commission rate is. Just top across here, we've just put the actual refund, because obviously the refund selection is when we get the refund. We're going to be getting a refund if it's a draw, so the odds, the lay odds on the draw are 375, although they may come in another tick there hopefully, which will give us a little bit more to play with. And then this section down here, which is a bonus, this is basically just saying what we're going to get back. So if the actual draw happens, then we're going to get a £50 refund. Now we are going to have to wager that over, so we're taking a conservative estimate here that out of that £50, by the time we've wagered it over the 5 times that we need, we're going to retain 80% of it. So in effect, the £50 we've got is really worth £40. Now you may be a lot better than that, and you can find even closer matches and get that closer to 100%. It may be a lot worse, and you may only pick up 70, 65%, but really, I mean, 80 is a realistic and quite a conservative figure there. So so the bonus is worth £40, and that just affects the calculations that it does. And over on this side, you'll then see what it's telling us what we need to do with the draw in order to equalise or weight the profit one particular way. So the first thing we're going to do is on Chile, we're going to back them 176 for £50, and then we're going to lay them with 49.44, and that sort of covers that portion of the bet. Overall on that £50 bet, we can see down here, if we don't lay anything on the draw, then that's going to cost us £3.04, because that's the differential between the lay bet coming in, and then we obviously get charged commission by Betfair on that. So from a trading point of view, that's quite interesting, because what that's basically saying is we can buy ourselves £50 worth of insurance on the draw for £3.04. Now, if we go over onto here and we were to back the draw, for example, and we spent £3.04, then our profit is, so it's just slightly off the screen there, I can't let's just move that across. You can see there that the profit coming out there is £8.20. Yet we've in effect bought ourselves, well, let's call it £40 then, if we're saying that we're for £3. So much better value in terms of there and what we're actually getting in the position. So just from a pure trading point of view, without doing anything else, this just screams value, and really it's got to be done. If we then look at the lock-in options, because obviously trading is a totally different side of things, then what we can do here is, if we look at the equalise section, which is generally what most people do, you can see there that we can pull out £7.23 the market, basically by laying the draw for £10.81. So we'd lay that. So what would happen is, if the match wasn't a draw, so Chile or Uruguay win in 90 minutes, then obviously we've lost £3.04 there from our initial lay, but obviously we've laid the draw as well. So by the time we get commission into account there, then that will give us a £7.23 profit, because we're going to win £10.81 less our commission, less the £3 that we've spent there in order to qualify. So overall profit £7, and on a £50 stake, then it's we're pushing over a good proportion of return on investment there. When you think about how much we're actually taking, that's obviously sort of 14% just on the initial £50 that we're putting in the market. So you can see there that it's just very quick and easy in order to do. But equally, we could weight it either way. So if we think really there's actually no chance there being a draw whatsoever, then we can slightly overlay the draw, because we really think one of these teams are going to win. So we'd lay 13.44, for example. So basically, if it was a draw, we'd be risk-free. We wouldn't win anything by the time we got our refund and everything. But if it's not a draw, so one of the other two teams win, then we're going to make £9.73. So it's basically about £2.50 it is up on what we're actually doing there. So we're sort of spending our difference here and laying it off there in order to get a profit, if it's guaranteed a profit if it's not a draw. If you really think this game is going to be a nailed on draw, then obviously we can go the other way, and all we're doing here is we're just putting a minimal lay stake in here. All we're doing is covering effectively what we've spent on the qualifying bet, then in order to create a risk-free position, so that if it is a draw, then we're actually going to make £28.16, and that's again based on the fact that our refund is valued at £40. And if it's not a draw, so one of the other two teams win, then we are going to be net for zero. So we've not actually won anything, we've not lost anything, so it's just basically like having a risk-free shot at £28 if the match actually finishes as a draw. So you can see there's loads of different options here, and that's the beauty of having a spreadsheet. We can play around this as to our heart's content. Obviously, if the we can put in different figures there. We might want to weight the game one way or the other. We can put £5 in there, and that will give us a scenario there. Again, as long as we're not seeing any red figures, then we're in a profitable, or certainly a no lose position. Likewise, we could change the figures over here, for example, if we think that we're going to be able to make more from the actual refund itself, because we're actually confident that we can take out more. So that then adjusts the figures, and you can see there it's gone up to 45 as a true value, and we can see here we can now make £8.52 rather than £7.23. So again, lots of ones to play around with, and the important thing to remember is obviously we've got 4 quarter-final games and 2 semi-final games, so it's 6 shots at doing this. So even if we just take the standard sort of conservative type figures, then you know, that's a reasonable amount of profit for very little work. And obviously if you lock in the bonuses, then you've not got to worry about the even staying up to actually watch the games if you don't want to. But if you're going to be trading it, then again, you could potentially be in a position where you can leverage a lot more out of that, because like I say, we're giving ourselves £50 free insurance there on the draw, so immediately we're covered from the start when the game is 0-0, which normally in a trading position is sort of the trader's worst nightmare. So we've got that cover already in place, so we know we're in a position to leverage our positions in the market even if nothing happens. So that's all good. And as I say, a very interesting offer, and one we're going to develop, and I'll do a couple of follow-up videos anyway just to let you know how I get on with that. But any questions, just drop me a line, darren@bet72.com. And of course, if you want a copy of this as an offline spreadsheet, so you can just load it up on your own machine, again, just let me know and I'll send that out. And whatever you decide to do with this offer, then yeah, don't miss out, because this is one of the best ones we've seen for quite a while. Okay, I'll speak to you again soon. Cheers, bye bye.